First, let me tell you what chaos training is. Chaos training is basically putting a kid in a cage, turning the machine up as fast as you can, and say, hit the ball. In some cases, they're even putting you really close to the machine, like maybe 40 feet away, but it's throwing 100 or throwing 90 or something, which makes it real hard. And the general theory is make practice harder than the game will look easy. Okay? That's like asking your 1-year-old baby to run before they can walk. They don't have enough prerequisite knowledge of what they need to do in order to have success. So you put a kid in front of the machine throwing 100 from 40 feet or whatever. In other words, it's super, super hard. And he's just going to hunker down and become an athlete and try to barrel the ball. Well, he's going to develop a pattern, a swing pattern, that will help him do that. And almost every time, a very high percentage of the time, they end up with a quick push swing, where they just kind of push the bat through. And by the way, several organizations, Major League Baseball organizations, do this, and it has, I don't know if I'd like to say it has ruined some of my players, but I still put it on the player. They should know better. They should get their work in. Even if their coach asks them to do that, they should get their work in on their own to get themselves right. So ruined by the coach is not the proper way of saying it. So, in contrast to that, you've got to get some knowledge of what you're supposed to do, and you're going to learn that knowledge from a coach on a tee, and you're going to be hitting on a tee. And the coach is going to tell you, you've got to be one-legged, and you've got to create a corner, and you've got to snap and tilt to launch the bat. You're going to feel an opposite field direction, and you start to develop that on a tee where you're not overwhelmed by velocity. You're not overwhelmed by the need for quickness. And you'll eventually start to develop a pattern, a swing pattern, that will not only hit the fastball, but it will create a timing window that you can control it and hit the off-speed pitch. And the minor leagues, pro ball, is full of people who can hit the fastball if that's all they ever saw. And so here they are teaching chaos, which is hit the fastball, hit the fastest fastball, get ready and hit it. But the problem is in a game, there's that thing called a changeup and a slider and a curveball. And so they've got themselves so geared up for the fastball that they have no chance against the off-speed pitch. So the requisite knowledge that you have to have, you're going to learn on a tee. And then once you've developed that pattern, you can swing that pattern pretty good. Nothing wrong with standing 40 feet away from 100, because you have a chance. You have a chance to not only do it, but you also have a chance in a game to deal with the off-speed pitch. Okay? Many times I've said, you've got to learn to swing before you learn to hit. And those people, chaos trainers, are trying to teach people to hit before they've ever learned how to swing. And when you don't know how to swing, you're very vulnerable for off-speed pitches.